if you have tinnitus, or have recently found out that you have tinnitus, the first thing that you should do, the first thing you should do is actually, if you are on PC, go to mynoise.net. There is also an app for it. Okay, so both on the Play Store and App Store, there is an app for this. There is also Belton Tinnitus Calmer. Okay, this is also a good app. Sometimes what happens is these apps don't work properly with other music, or like you're on a call, so you have to pause it and then play it again. Where is, did I write it? I have written it here in detail. I'll put it all in the description in case this post gets removed. Okay, so that's on the software side. On the hardware side, just get a cheap speaker. Okay, it's best if you get a stereo speaker that have two speakers. Okay, like a speaker bar or something that you can put near your head or a bit far away from your head, but they serve the purpose of giving sounds in both the ears. Okay, and you have to listen to these background noises. Okay, there is a white noise. If you are confused where to start, just go into white noise. Otherwise, there is a tinnitus relief here. Okay, it is very important that the place that you sleep in, at least home, the place that you call home, you should have at least one of these speakers. You should have an SD card in it and something like, so that it keeps on playing. Okay, it should never stop. It does not need to be manually configured. It should just be there. Once it's on, it stays on and it never turns off, even if the volume is low. It is crucial to have that. It is crucial to have that. Now I'm going to take you through my journey. That was the most important thing. Okay, get some cheap speakers or something. Depending on your tinnitus, some have the high pitched tinnitus, so you will need those treble sounds. So a speaker which has more treble. But if your tinnitus is more bassy, you will need that bass sound. If it's low pitched. So yeah, usually cheap speakers, they are pretty good with the higher pitched sound. Yeah, so it's easier to find them. Anyways, that's not the point of this video. The point of the videos is, if you haven't still realized, tinnitus affects you emotionally in a lot of many ways that you can imagine. That's all I'm going to say. That it affects you. Even other people might only feel like, oh, it's just a ringing in the sound, but constant ringing in the ears, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. My god, it gets tiring. Okay, it gets tiring. And I just, no, a certain percentage of the population will always be affected by it, no matter what they do. A few things. Okay, so let's talk about my tinnitus. Let the post be there itself. I will just link them in the description, not needed. I'm here. So there were three things, I think. Either it was the constant use of little speakers in my earphones, so little smaller earphones, the not the earbuds. Let me show you what I mean. And I think they are the most horrible ones. Yeah, these ones that do not have any sort of uh, plug, so there is no noise cancellation. And if you want to hear these earphones in a noisy environment, you will have to pump the volume to a high level. Now, I was very careful in using in the volume of these. It was one thing. It might have been this, I am not 100% sure. The second thing was, there was a stupid party in the stupid place that I used to live, and they had literal big huge speakers pointed to one place on the road. I'll show it to you, just give me a moment. So it's this is how it was, and this is a road. Okay, and people are walking around here. They had put big huge speakers, 4 5 6 8 feet speakers on both the sides. Okay, and all the speakers, they made sounds. What was the point of it? Who knows? It's a stupid city, but yeah, that's the point. And I walked through one of them, not realizing that I was walking through it, or it might do some damage. So either it was this one, second, or third. I was on some medications, let's say. I was on a lot of medications, and I think one of them was cetirizine. Okay, I don't know what was it, for depressant or for fungal infection or for what, but basically it made me sleep a lot. So I was on this medication for quite some time. Okay, so one of these three things it was. So how do you avoid it? Uh, First, the normal earphones. Uh, don't use the earphones that need to be, ramped up so that you will be able to hear it in a noisy environment. Okay, first thing is that. Second thing, if you need to use an IEMs are the best in that regard. However, in my opinion, in my personal opinion, just use headphones. Okay, that just use headphones. Okay, if you are having to use headphones, either uh, for a long period of time you need to wear them, or for uh, short period of time but you need to cancel out everything, either get something with an active noise cancelling. But yeah, prefer headphones. First, prefer speakers. Now, speakers you cannot all obviously use everywhere, uh, so that it disturbs other, but if possible, prefer speakers. Secondly, I would say headphones. uh, if the headphones seem too bulky for you, try to find something that goes in a small size or something. Okay, not the point of the video, you can do that on your own. And if even if these two are not enough, then only I would say to go with the earphones that actually go inside your ear canals. I will suggest you to avoid that at all costs, but let's say you can't, so at least get those ones that have some sort of noise cancellation. I'm not talking about active, but they plug in your ears so that they block out the outside sounds ultimately, so that you do not have to pump up the volume of your phone by a lot. I do not know if that's the case of tinnitus. Many research are still going on. I have no idea about them, but from what I figured out, it might be one of these things. I'm talking about the permanent one, tinnitus, not tinnitus that you hear one day and it goes away the next day. Second thing was the large volume, high volume areas. Okay, so there are the 3M plugs that comes in. Okay, they are pretty common. Okay, pretty cheap. 3M plugs. If you Google it, you'll find them, and you can just plug in your ear if the outside noise is really that loud. Okay, that is, I think, I will say that is the more probable thing that actually caused it. Okay, so an immediate increase in volume, if that's possible to avoid, please do. Second, the last thing, medication. I don't know what to do. That doctor was quite qualified. Here is the thing, I don't know if that's the reason or not, so that is kind of open ended. You go figure it out by yourself. But over medication, even if the doctor says so, uh, at least take a second opinion. That's what I was. If there is a doctor and he keeps giving you medications, and the same medication for a long period of time without increasing or decreasing the dose, I would say get a second opinion. So three things that were to basically avoid tinnitus. Now, once you have tinnitus, some type of tinnitus can be permanently cured. So immediately visit a doctor. Don't watch YouTube videos for it. Don't read Reddit threads, because it depends on person to person. Visit doctors. Okay, ENT specialist, tinnitus specialist. Try to find them from wherever possible and go visit them. They will give you medication. It might just cure it. Yeah. I was just trying to remember what my. So what happens is, it is quite all right when I'm in the when it's summer. So the fans, they sound, they make a lot of sound. So I'm pretty happy because they usually make a lot of sound. So you know what? It's been quite some time, and I'm going to just go through some of my posts. Also, maybe it reminds me something. I don't use Reddit anymore. So I think it was in 2013, 14. Yeah, it was 2014 when I figured that I might have tinnitus, and it's about 10 years now, a decade now. And my God, in the beginning, it was such a horrible thing. And I also had these pains while using. After a while, I started using headphone with a background to another frequency. Has it starts hurting so much, I have to pull the out the earphones. Here is where I stopped using the earphones at all. Mm. No cure for now. Okay, that's that's when you start using earphone for quite some time. Insomnia, yeah, that is one thing. That's the reason I started the video with, get those speakers. If you get those speakers, that will permanently loop some rain sounds, or a sound that you find, comforting, because everyone has different frequency of tinnitus. So just play them. The thing with rain sound is, if you play the noise, just white noise, racist. But if you play just white noise in your house, people get irritated. But if you play the rain noise, they tend to live with it. So uh, it's quite common when you have it for the first time, that you will not be able to sleep properly. Okay. Now, the kind of person I am, so even a little bit of light, if I see outside, I can't sleep properly. Okay. So I had to start using sleeping masks for that. And the second thing was, in the beginning, sleeping masks were also bit irritating. And I just get reminded of the pains I had to go through. But the thing is, I like to keep my nose and mouth open for breathing, but I didn't like the lights. Even a little bit of light in the room, even the small night lights, I hated them. That's why I tape every light, every little indicator with everything. And when I did that, I still used to, keep moving from right to left, because if I move to one side, the other ear won't get the rain sound that's in the home. And that's so later, that's the reason in the beginning I said, get a speaker bar that has two speakers on it. Okay, so they will spread the volume out in all directions, and you will be able to actually sleep properly. It gets really irritating. Okay, it gets really irritating. And what will happen is, you will not realize this, you will start getting angrier and angrier, you will start getting irritated a lot. Okay, you will start getting irritated, like most of the time you will be like, and why am I so irritated? Okay, you will keep asking yourself this question. I didn't used to be like this. I was not this obsessed irritated or something. And then you will realize it's because of the sound in your house. So that's why I said that, at least in your home, at least the place you sleep, at least the place you work, you have these sounds playing in the background, because they will affect you. Now, for some work, I do use headphones. Okay, I found the whatever the budget headphones that I could find, that was the most comfortable. I got this. I actually have a speaker there, but since I record for YouTube quite a bit, I can't really use the speakers most of the time. However, uh, that's, I would say, that's the main thing. Okay, that you will find yourself quite irritated, quite I mean, it can lead to a bit of depression. Okay, especially if it starts affecting others. So yeah, when you live with someone and they start telling you what the hell is that sound, turn it off, I'm not able to sleep, or you have no choice but to move to the other room. Anyways, yeah, that is quite irritating. But what can you do? You know, you have to respect others also. So yeah, your room, your personal room, it has to be filled with these speakers. The more the better, but at least get two channel ones, and they will affect your sleep in the beginning quite a bit. So that's why wherever I go in this city or another city, I always have few pair of headphones, or when I don't have, sorry, not the headphones, the speakers that already have the rain sounds in the SD card in it, and I just put it in and play it. The other thing is the phone that I'm actually recording on a phone. I have a secondary phone, okay, and the whole job of this phone is to play those sounds. Okay, so when I'm moving around, I have all these, whichever phone I use, whichever tablet or any device I use, if it can run those rain sounds, it will be on the home page. Always, always. Okay, so this is my phone, as you can see in the bottom, or maybe you can't see. That's not Tinder, that's Firefox. Uh, Tinnitus Calmer, it's right here. And okay, I don't, mainly because of the speakers, which is not in this room right now. I told you it's not that difficult in the mm, summer when you can run the noisy fans. It affects you a lot. Okay, and if you combine that with any other thing you have, like unable to sleep properly, if there is even a little bit of light, or you need to cover your mouth, or if you have ADHD, we'll talk about that later. It's it's quite normal to have suicidal thoughts. That also, it's quite normal. Okay, and I will tell you that even if you have them, don't worry. Okay, just listen to these sounds. Okay, I mean, they sound so stupid. If someone is having those thoughts, to tell them, actually, you know what, brother, um, just listen to some rain sounds. But that helps you calm a lot. If you have tinnitus, it helps you calm a lot. Okay, stay in the room, in places where you can. Even when I was actually working, I used to play these sounds on my phone, and I used to keep my phone right on the mainly in the left ear, because I have a tinnitus that's high, that's left-sided mode. There is a little bit on the right, but on the left side it's more. So wherever I used to go, I just used to put my phone there. I'm sitting in a meeting, I used to put my phone to the left side. I would just lower the volume just a bit, but still people would notice. Then I didn't. I just told them, yeah, this is all right. You can't really wear earphones and headphones while you work in a corporate. So I just used to play them on my phone. And many of times, people have asked me, "Is there something leaking in the house?" Or even in the car, whenever I go into Uber or something. So any type of ventilated place, because you're not running fans there, any cold air. I don't know. Let me just go through. The thing is, it's been 10 years mainly. It's been 10 years, and that's why I've started to live with it. I understand how all of these things work, the obsession and everything works. I wrote this 5 years ago. Let me just read through it. And if I get reminded something, I'll. It's terrible to try to sleep at night. I just can't sleep. I am awake till 5 or 6 or even 8 in the morning, hoping to get to sleep. Main reason is there's a constant ringing sound in both the ears. Torment in the left ear is a huge issue for me. I feel safe in my room, in my own room, as I said, because there are speakers constantly playing rainy music for me all the time. I have trouble sleeping at night. When I turn towards the right side to sleep, I just hear the constant humming because the right ear is facing the pillow, and the side is how I actually have been sleeping for a long time. What the hell? Okay, so sleeping on the sides, not on the back. I put my phone near my ear to listen to rain sounds on phone on top of the already playing sounds in the speaker. So yeah, that's the problem. As I said earlier, that you need to get the bar speakers. That will happen if you don't get it. It's still I get crazy at night, almost crying, just wanting to. So there are no treatments for it. I have asked in many renowned government hospital in our country and some private hospitals. No, at least for my case, it's not possible. It's the thing. I go to library to study, and tinnitus says, "Oh yeah, I went to library to study, and I just couldn't, man. I had to stop. The trouble with sleeping is just more than I can't cover my mouth with sheet to sleep. Hence, I can't cover my eyes to sleep unless it's some weird way, or I use a sleep mask, which failed because I got crazy with it. It takes some time to adjust to sleep mask. I can't sleep even a little light in the room. So sometimes I feel like I should be in army or prison. Maybe they will make me stronger and more resilient. So yeah, I remember reading Viktor Frankl's mm, "Man's Search for Meaning." Yeah, and there is a great quote, a line from that somewhat that there are people who used to complain that they are very sound sleeper, they are very light sleeper, they get aroused easily, and when they were in those Auschwitz camp, they, they started sleeping pretty well, even with a lot of noise. So that's what I thought. Maybe I should go into army or something just to have some. I can't go to. Oh yeah, I forgot about this. I went to the meditation center. It's the Vipassana meditation Dhamma. You can find it. It's pretty good. And the problem was they don't allow phones or any such things. I didn't realize that I should probably take my own speakers, and my God, it was a horrible experience. It was a horrible experience. Okay, I was trying to somehow work with it, but it was not possible. So meditation is also gets very irritating. If you have to go any sort of retreat or such place, take little speakers and explain to them that I have this condition, and without this I can't actually stay. Anyways, and if they don't allow it, just leave. You won't learn anything if you're constantly fighting yourself. Exams are really tough for me because I have to sit like 3 hours listen. Oh yeah, exams, especially in the winter. What can you do? You can't take phone, you can't take speakers, you can't do anything. My God, I hated them. I absolutely hated them. And also, if you have ADHD on top with this, great. Because now you don't even have any friends to talk to. Oh yeah, that's one side effect of ADHD. We'll talk it later. The real one, not the stuff people make up. Google Sound Amplifier, they just removed it. Mine was already talked about tinnitus camera earphones. I have told you that if you really have to use the IEMs. Okay, so IEMs go inside your IEMs go inside your ears quite a bit more. Okay, but since they are that inside the ear, even if they are on very low volume, that quite it's all right. If you get any sort of other earphones, you have to bump up the volume, which might damage your ear. Okay. Anyways, moving on. This is what the hell? This is not me. Okay, maybe I commented on it. This is not my post. What what do you mean? Oh yeah, that's what I said. Oh, proper meditation helps. The proper one, the Vipassana one. But you have to find something. This is again not me. Let's close it. We'll keep it. Okay. That's all. I just had this, in video in my to-do list for quite some time, and I didn't want to make it, but maybe just the beginning 4 or 5 minutes is enough for people who at least have it for the first time. I really hope your gets cured. Okay, I really hope you find good doctors or people and tell others about them if you do actually get it cured. It's hard, man. That's all I will say. It's hard. Combined with any other condition you have, it becomes irritating. And the people you live with aren't that supportive. Anyways, yeah, that's all.